Hi, my name is Lisa and I am the chef with Revive Wellness and My Viva Plan. Today I want to talk to you about carrots, a vegetable most of us are probably very familiar with, but I wanted to show a few different ways how to prepare it today and maybe give you a few new ideas along the way. So the first method I want to start with is actually boiling carrots. Now stick with me. I know most of us consider boiled vegetables probably the worst way to have vegetables. But certain vegetables do lend themselves well to boiling, and carrots are one of them. They're a hearty vegetable. They take a bit longer to soften, and the key, of course, is to not overcook them. We probably all have a bad memory of having boiled vegetables that are mushy, overcooked, bland, just not a lot going on there, borderline baby food. So we're not going to do that today. We have to focus a lot on not overcooking them. We want them to be tender, crisp, and then we're going to add some flavorings in there as well to make them a little bit more interesting than your typical just plain boiled carrots. So first thing we need to do, of course, is to cut our carrots. So I want to cut them into carrot sticks, kind of like you would for like a vegetable tray. So I'm just going to cut, these ones aren't terribly large carrots, so I'm going to cut them probably in quarters. If they're thicker, you might want to do them, again in half, so you have about 8 pieces per half here. The main thing to keep in mind is that you want your pieces to be relatively the same shape and size so that they cook at an even pace here. So don't need to get out a ruler or anything like that, but relatively the same size and shape so we promote some even cooking. So I'm going to do the rest of those shortly. All that's left to do now is the boiling. So I have a pot on my stove here and I've put about 2 cups of water in there, not very much. You don't need gallons and gallons of water. If you're making way more carrots than this, you can do a little bit more, but you don't need very much. And I have heavily seasoned that water. So 2 teaspoons of salt in that 2 cups. I know that sounds like a horrendous amount of salt, but what's going to happen is we're going to cook them and drain off all that water. So 95% of that sodium is going to be drained away when they're done cooking. The reason we're doing this is because this is how we're seasoning our carrots. So we're not going to be adding salt at the end of the cooking. It's going to season while it's cooking. So it's going to permeate into the carrots during the cooking. And then we're going to drain the rest away. So we're going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these carrots, put them into the boiling water, cover them, and immediately set a timer for about 6 minutes or so. And then at the end of that 6 minutes, we want to pierce them with a paring knife, make sure that they're nice and tender, crisp. If they are falling apart, breaking apart, anything like that, they're overcooked, they're mushy. We don't want that. So what we do want, of course, is that tender, crisp, but we do want it to still hold its shape. So that 6 minutes should be kind of right around what you're looking for. You can always check it around 5 minutes. You can always add more time, but you can't take it away, of course. So let's aim for that 5 to 6 minutes and we'll go from there. I just drained my carrots here. They took actually closer to the 5-minute mark, so I checked them a little early and they were perfectly done. I pierced them with the paring knife and they were nice and tender, crisp, exactly what we want. So now all we need to do is add a few flavoring components here to make it a little bit more interesting. Don't need to add any salt at this point because, like I said, we seasoned it through the salted water. So all we need here is our added ingredients. So we have some olive oil. I'm just going to do a drizzle of that. Adds really nice flavor and texture in there. And as we know, carrots are nice and sweet, so I always like to add a little bit of acidity. So I'm going to use lemon juice today to kind of balance out all that sweetness, and it works really well together. And then I have some fennel seeds here that I have crushed up with a mortar and pestle. You can also use a spice grinder if you want. It's a really nice complementary flavor. It has a subtle licoricey taste, but it's not overpowering. It just goes really nicely with the carrots. And a little bit of chili flakes in there as well because I can't resist. And then I have some orange peel as well. So continuing on with that citrus flavor here. And that's it. So I'm just gonna give that a quick toss. And you have yourself a really, really nice side dish. It's ready to go. Super easy, kind of a no-brainer. And if you stick to that, 5-ish minutes for the boiling, then you're not gonna have any issues. It's not gonna be overcooked. It's not gonna be mushy. It's not going to be bland. So give this one a try at home and enjoy.